on the old Twitch. Yes, indeed, the Twitch. I thought my music was getting ready to run out there. We are going to go to apparently our first guest, which I did not know that we had a first guest, but apparently we do. We are going to go to our first guest here in just a few moments here on our big program. Coast to coast, border to border on iHeartRadio today, and of course AMFM247.com, tune in iTunes, and of course Radio Loyalty. And we go to our first guest here in just a few moments, but the Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast is brought to you by our fabulous friends over there at Virtual PBX. That's right, the future of work has changed. Entrepreneurs need tools that allow them to communicate from anywhere. That's why Virtual BPX Flex Plans are essential for every business. Virtual PBX transforms your smartphone and computer into a full-featured virtual phone system. Flex Plans, they're just amazing. They include features like virtual receptionist, telephone numbers, texting, messaging, custom greetings, and so much more. The best part is, right now, you can get a professional phone system for as low as $13 a user. Just visit virtualpbx.com/podcast to claim your discount. That's visit virtualpbx.com/podcast. To get started for less than $13 per user, that is VIRTUAL, the letter P, the letter B, and the letter X.com/podcast. And tell them you heard about it here. Transmedia worldwide. And we have got our first guest joining us today here on the telephone. Welcome to the big broadcast. How are you, my friend?
Hey, James. How you doing today?
Pretty good, actually. So, give us a little bit on your background, my friend, and then we will talk about the topic here.
Well, my name is Short E. Dangerously. I'm the half man in Hellzapoppin Circus Sideshow Revue. And we have a show coming up on Thursday, July 1st, at the Cotillion.
Yes.
Which we are super excited about. And we cannot wait to get there and do what we do for all y'all.
So tell us a little bit about what you guys do, because I have seen this, I've seen all sorts of different things about you guys. I know that folks are just amazed by what you guys do. Give us a little bit of information on this whole thing.
Well, we're the largest touring circus sideshow in the world today. And we feature extreme stunts, such as sword swallowing, fire eating. We also have someone who does the ancient art of fakir, which is the piercing of the needles through the arms.
Wow.
Hopefully without blood. We have sword swallowing.
Hopefully without blood.
We've also have a crossbow artist, Ben Black. You've seen him on America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent.
Yep.
He is renowned as one of the world's best crossbow artists. We also have Measy. He's known as the chairman of Cheers.
The chairman of Cheers.
Where he stacks chairs. In some cases, ceiling and clearance is allowed as much as high as 13 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And then hand balances on them.
That's amazing.
And myself, I do an acrobatic act, just a couple different handstands at the beginning, and then later on the show, I walk on broken shards of glass with my hands, because, again, I don't have any legs. And I walk on shards of broken glass while they're on fire.
Wow.
Holy
smokes.
We also have Willow the Wren, who will swallow and regurgitate razor blades. And, I'm just going to stop there. I'm going to give you a little tasty tease to what everybody does. But
absolutely amazing.
Don't do it justice. You've really got to see it in person to know what
Yes. And this is going to be a hell of an event. Hellzapoppin Circus Sideshow Revue. They are going to be part of the Cotillion Ballroom in Wichita, Kansas, July 1st. And just amazing stuff. So this is basically kind of like the old-fashioned circus freak show is basically what this is.
Kind of, sort of, but not exactly.
Okay. Explain that to us a little bit more.
I always make a joke that we're a circus that looks like a rock band.
That's awesome.
And because everything we do in the show is set to loud, heavy metal and rock music. And there's lots of strobe lights, and it's a rock show with extreme stunts.
Awesome. So how did this whole thing get started? Where did all this originate from? How did this whole thing get going?
Are you talking about how did Hellzapoppin originate?
Yeah. How did this whole thing happen, man? Kind of give us a little bit of an intro on this thing.
Okay, well, Bryce Graves is the owner, director, producer, and also him and I co-host the show together.
Yeah.
And he started the show back in 2009 and managed rock bands for about 13 years.
Okay.
And he got sick of working for other people's projects and decided he wanted to start a freak show because he moved on from bands and managed a freak show. And he's like, I'm tired of working for other people. I want to do my own thing. So he started Hellzapoppin, which, you know, I know in Kansas and in certain areas of the country that can be deemed as a bad name, if you will.
Yes, but, it's such a strange state.
You know, yeah. Well, the funny thing is people, it's a mistaken. We take the name is taken from the Broadway musical back in the 30s and 40s.
Well, that's pretty
with
cool.
Louis Anderson. And at the time, it was the number one selling show on Broadway.
Wow.
And then
really?
Later on, in the late 40s, Louis Armstrong made a movie called Hellzapoppin.
That's pretty cool.
That's where it's all taken from, because the movie and the musical is there's people trying to tell a story and have a garden party, and all this crazy random stuff keeps happening. And the definition of Hellzapoppin is anything can happen, but it usually will, and usually does.
That's awesome. Hellzapoppin. You can get more information. Hellzapoppin.com is the official website, and they're going to be at the Cotillion Ballroom in Wichita, Kansas, as part of the 2021 Face Your Fears U.S. Tour. So, if someone's never seen this show before, kind of give me just a little bit of a rundown of how this works. You mentioned a lot of the different elements, but how does this all start? How does this all end? Kind of give us a little bit of a preview if we've never seen this before live.
We come out and grab you by the throat and hold you for 2 hours, and then we let go.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like quite the deal, my friend.
You know, it's all engaging. You know, I run a lot of the production off stage as far as hitting keys, lighting keys, music keys. So a lot of times, if it's an act where I don't need to really focus on what the performer is doing, I tend to look out into the audience, and so many wide eyes and open mouths and hands covering faces, and, you know, all kinds of stuff.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Hellzapoppin with us today. So, kind of give me a little bit of the behind the scenes of this. I know that you guys host meet and greets and things across the country when you do these shows. What are the meet and greets like?
Actually, this year we are not doing any meet and greets because of COVID.
Oh, okay.
It's one of our favorite things to do after the show. Usually we come off stage. Obviously, some of us are really tired because it does take a lot out of us.
Yeah.
And we take about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll head over near the merchandise booth. And it's free of charge. And you can come out and take pictures with the cast. or your favorite performer if that's the only one you want, but it's usually everybody with a lot of cast photos.
Yeah.
And kind of a meet and greet, we'll sign some autographs, or, if they have T-shirts or something they want us to sign, or some fans will bring us fan art they want us to sign, or photos that they've taken, that sort of thing. But, because of COVID, and that's one of the reasons we called this tour the Face Your Fears Tour, because we had two fears when we started this in February. One is that nobody would buy tickets, and nobody would want to come.
Yeah.
And number two is, could we make it through the tour without getting sick? Well, wouldn't you know it? Since February, about 75 shows of our shows have been sold out.
Wow.
And in some cases, oversold were allowed.
Wow.
However, on the last day of the tour, in April, April. We did a run from February to April last year, the end of February to the beginning of April. And some of us got sick after that tour, and we tested positive.
Oh, wow.
And we all quarantined down at the farm in Florida, where the show is based. We all spread out throughout the country. I'm the closest one. I live in Daytona Beach, Florida, about 3 hours from where Bryce and Willow live.
Yeah.
And but I was able to go home, but I had to quarantine my house, and we had other performers that could not leave.
Oh, wow.
Because they were driving back to their home state. And they would run the risk of, some of them have kids and older relatives and whatnot. So, everybody kind of quarantined at the farm for a lot of time when we were able to go on our way. And so, those of us that have it, got it. We got antibodies. And we're back out on this run. And like I said, the response has been amazing. As far as ticket sales go, we were worried about it, but we were worried for nothing. And it's been a big relief to all of us in the show, and especially Bryce. Because Bryce Graves and I have been working together for 8 years this year. And so he's a brother from another mother to me. We've literally been to hell and back together. And so the things that him and I were worried about before this tour, actually, one of them happened, and then the other one did. And so we're a lot more relaxed now and sure-footed about things.
Well, that's cool. Now, is the shorty dangerously part of it? Is that a pro wrestling thing? Is that based upon Paul E. Dangerously from the old WCW, or is that something else?
I stole it.
I stole it.
There's no influence. There's none of that. I basically stole it. And it's short,
That's great.
It's short, middle initial E, last name Dangerous. And,
well, I was hoping that when the Hellzapoppin show was done with you weren't going to be going and starting an Extreme Wrestling Federation in Philadelphia. So,
well, I am a bit of a wrestling fan. I'm more of an old school wrestling fan, the Attitude Era, ECW.
Yes.
Not so much anymore. But yeah, people have asked me about my name, and I'm like,
yes.
Yeah, I stole it.
Yes, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
I wanted to keep. I was a daredevil, and that was a persona. But I still wanted to keep my nickname Shorty. So I kept rattling off all these names in my head, and then I came across something about ECW. And I'm like,
that's right.
There it is.
That's right.
And the funny thing is people don't understand is Paul Heyman stole it from the movie Johnny Danger.
There you go. That's awesome.
And everybody called him Paulie, so I could go with Shorty.
That's right.
It worked.
That's right. Well, maybe sometime. I know it'll never happen because Paul's under contract to Vince, but Lou E. Dangerously from ECW is out there somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe you guys could link up at some point for something with the Hellzapoppin show. I think that might be really cool
That
for
would be
the
great.
wrestling
That would
fans.
be great.
But
It is on my bucket list to have lunch with Paul Heyman.
that would be great. That would be great. And
Yeah.
also when you're completely done with Hellzapoppin, you might be able to go find some badass guy from Minnesota who eventually moves to Canada, and you could manage him. But
Oh, that would make me very happy. I'm a big Brock Lesnar fan.
That's right. Well, this has been fun. You guys are fantastic, and I'm looking forward to the show July 1st at the Cotillion. Thanks for doing this, man.
Hey, no problem. It was my pleasure, man. I really hope everybody comes out to see the show. We do want to sell it out. It's a big one for us. I just have one thing to say.
Yes.
Please, please, please do not send us Facebook messages regarding tickets.
Oh, really? You
not-
have people
we
that
have
do
nothing to
that. That's fantastic.
No, the venue handles that.
Oh, okay.
The venue and the promoter handles that. So we are unaware of if there's any tickets available or not. We don't find out about pre-sales until we arrive in town. So
Fantastic.
because we do get a lot of messages, and I get a lot of messages on my fan page and my Facebook as well, asking about tickets, and we have nothing to do with the tickets. That's strictly on the venue as well as the promoters. So if anybody has any questions about tickets or age requirements, according to the Facebook event, it's an all-ages show. Doors are at 7, show is at 8.
Yep.
And right now, tickets are GA, general admission, $20 in advance. There is a link on the Facebook event, as well as you can go to hellzapoppin.com to
Okay.
get tickets there, or hit up the venue and get your tickets through them.
Fantastic. Well, I really appreciated the time and the effort. Thank you, my friend, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, yeah, I hope to see you at the show as well, James.
Definitely. I look forward to meeting you guys.
Likewise.
Thank you, guys. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, man.
All right, thank you so much, and you guys have a great day.
Appreciate it. There he goes. Shorty Dangerously. Oh, it's a hell of a day. We will take a timeout when we come back. We have got more coming up on the other side. It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.
Moving can be one of the most stressful things you'll